learn more about creating strings in JavaScript. Okay, so let's start. So first we're gonna look at different quotations we can use with strings. So for example, if we are using string, we can either choose to use single quote or double quote depending on the characters at which we have in the string. So let's say let my string, and my string this side is actually a variable, so we say our first string will be equal to hello, and this one is using a single quote. Next we can have we can have another let here. Let me end this. Well, so what's going on here? Okay, so we can have another let, and then we'll say my string 1. Let's do this 2, and then we do this 1. Okay, so this string area can have double quote, and all of them should work fine. So if we print this on the screen, all of them should work fine. So let's say document dot write, and then we have the variables in there. The first one is this, my string 1, and then we want to have a space of sent to the next one is sent to the another line, so we use the break here, and then so technically we are trying to display 2 strings with one with a single quote and then another with a double quote. So technically we can do that with these 2. Document right, my string, the second one is using a small letter, so we have my string, so we have hello and hi. So what I'm demonstrating here is you can use a single quote or a double quote, single and double here, and any one of them should be fine. So what if we want to have a quote inside a sentence? For example, let's look at the first one. Maybe we want to have a quote here. Let's say hello buddy, and with the body we want to have double quote at the side. So because we have single quote for this string, we can have a double quote inside, and here we have double quote here. So hello people, here we have double quote here, so we can have single quote inside here. Let me save and then run this. Okay, so if we try to do, let's say a double quote in here, you see what is happening. We're gonna have an unexpected error. So when I save and I run this, we have an error. So it is just interchangeably. So if you are using a single quote at the side, you can use a double quote inside. If you are using a double quote outside, then you can use a single quote outside. So this is one this is the ways we can display quote inside JavaScript, either being it double or being it single. And let's look at escape quotes. For example, just a slash. So here we'll say, let me clear this, and in here we want to say something like it's with a forward slash it is. So since we want to escape the single quote, we use the forward slash there, and then we say it's okay. So since we've used this forward slash, it can escape this second single quote in here. But we can also do the same to this side. If we want to use a double quote inside, we can start with a forward slash, and then we can change this to a double quote. Then here will also be a forward slash, and then we can have a double quote. So this is the way we can actually escape quotes inside the text. So this will not affect the single quote at the side, and the second one to also not affect the quote in there. So we can always escape it using the forward slash. And we can also look at escaping more sequences. For example, if we have if we want to add something like next line inside let's see, we have this, and then let me see, I just want to think of something. Okay, so let's say we want to have two escape inside one of this. For example, we want to refer to a C drive, and we have this double quote here, and we say, for example, we want to refer to a C drive like C with a path, and we have this forward, maybe users, and then we have another forward, probably we do downloads. Okay, so and then let's say we have another one in here where we have the same C path, but this time around we'll be using a double forward slash in here. Okay, so instead of this one, we'll be having two here, and we'll be having two here. Let's save this and then see. So you see, for the first one, since we use a single double forward line, we cannot see any double forward in here. So it comes with a C column user downloads, but this comes with a C column forward slash users forward slash downloads. So you need to repeat this one twice in your code in order to see the slash in there. So let's look at another thing. If we want to check the length of a string inside a JavaScript, what we can do is to use a simple keyword or length to do that. So let's say we want to count some number of words. For example, I use JavaScript here, and then I clear all this and left with user download. Okay, so in order to count the length of these sentences, I need to use a keyword called .length. So for the first variable, .length should give me the length of that string, and this one, .length should give me the length of that string. So let's look at it here. So the first one is 10. JavaScript 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Then the next one is apparently what, 14. But you can see that one well. Let me concatenate this side and then add the break. Okay, and let me reload the page again. Okay, so 10 for JavaScript and then 14 for users download. So this is how we can easily add what we call the length in there. But what if we want to find a substring within a string? Find the position of a substring within a string. So let's say position of a substring. Okay, so position of a substring. So with our first variable, we still want to find the position of, let's say, JavaScript. It's nice. Users download in the folder. So just writing anything at random, and then we want to find the position of a string. For example, let's say we want to find the position of x is inside the JavaScript is nice. So what we have to do with this is to apparently let me see. For the first one we want to print, we can use a variable. What's going on? Okay, so let's say I have another variable, so here, and I would say, let me say the position, and the position is equal to the variable, let's say the variable my string here, and then I do dot index of will help me find the position of a particular word in a string. So that is s. So we want to find the position of s here. So let me reload, then we see it is the 18th position. So let me see. No, it's only counting what we have here. No, I need to refer to this one, document or write post in there. So the position, it was just printing the length. So now that we're finding the position with the first one, so 11 means JavaScript is 10, so the next word will be 11. So we can do the same thing to any word in here. So let me quickly duplicate this and then change this to post 1. Then let's say we want to find the position of folder here. Okay, then this side will only refer to this inside the document.print. So post 1. Okay, so we have folder is going to -1. Let me see, 1 2 3 4 5. No, it's doing -1 because I mean it's picking this folder from this line, so there's nothing like that. That's why it's giving -1. I need to or I need to do string 2 instead of 1. So I need to use the variable for this so I get the accurate one. Okay, so it's in a position of what? 22 over there. So that is really cool. So this is finding the position of a substring. And okay, so in this video we'll be doing more of the text or pattern inside a string. So let's look at having a case sensitive text, and we want to use JavaScript to be able to search through these strings and then figure out the position of this particular text using a case sensitive approach. So let's have a string str, and then the string will have let's say color red. Color red looks something than color. So we have two colors in here. The first color have capital C, and the second color has what? The small c, or it all is in small letters. So let's see how we can do that. So let's say we want to find the position based on the case sensitiveness search. So yeah, so we're gonna now let's have another variable. So let's say this is gonna be the position variable, and this position variable will be equal to the variable at the top, which is the str dot search, because we're gonna find which search word we'll be looking for, and we'll be looking for the color with the small case. So I'll type in the color here. We want to find the position of this case. Then what we can do is to print out the position using the document dot write, and then let's have this in. So here we'll call the post in here. Great. So let's check in the browser what's the position. It's returning a post. Let me see. str dot search. Now why it's returning a post is I put the variable inside a quote. So this is how it's supposed to be. You just call the variable direct without a quote. Let's go. So now we have 30. So it's giving us position 30. Why? Because this is where it is. So when we do the counting, we do 1 2 3 4 5, including the space. 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 27 28 29 29 30. Then after 30, what we got here? So this is on the 30th 30th position. So we can actually look at other ones. For example, if I add, look here, look with the capital L, and then I search for the position in here, then I save this, then it's gonna be what? 42. So this is how to search for the position. But what if we have a variable which does not show inside our context, or there's nothing like that in the context, especially if we have something like this, that, and that, but it's not inside our set string. So let me see. Here we're gonna get a -1, because starting from here there is nothing like that. And what if we leave this one out? And how to use slides in string. So this slides object in a string. So slide simply means we can take away some words or characters inside a string using the slice property. So for example, if we want to use slide, we can simply call slide on this variable, which is the str, and then we call slides. Okay, so with the slides we can have a value of which it should show on the screen. Example, if I put in 2 here and then check on the screen, the 2 here takes off the CO from the color, and then it shows the rest. So slice means taking a portion of a word or sentences out. So the slides actually start from 1 in terms of indices. So let me try 0. If you try 0, let's look at it. Nothing happens because it counts the words using 1, 2, 3. So a little bit different from arrays. Okay, then I take off the C there. But we can have multiple values in here, which can be 1, the first character, and then the second one will start from the back. So taking alphabets or characters from the back. It can be numbers or strings, it doesn't matter. So if I do -1 means picking from the back, and 1 means picking from the front. So let's see what happens here. So now we have C taking off, and then we have K taking off here. So what if we want to do 4 and then let's say a 15 here? Okay, then I reload. Okay, now we have everything from the beginning to red look only shows. So this side, this arrow. So now look at how to use that. But there's another object in JavaScript which we can use, which is the substring, and it works similar to the slides, but you can either choose to use the slides or you can either choose to use the substring. So this is also for, selecting a substring, just like the slide, cutting some off. So for this one we can have a substring of, yes, but you see this, the slice was giving us the R, red, and then the look. But look at what the substring, let me see. Okay, so the substring also is giving us the R, red, and look. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say 9 and then 0 here, and then we try again. Okay, now so we get the color red, and then we get 0 from coming to the other one. So here is 0, here is 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have everything here, and then here is 0, so nothing happens there. Okay, so what if we want to use something like maybe a minus? just minus numbers anyhow, like 25 here, and then let's say 19 here, and then we load. Nothing shows on the screen. Why? Because these numbers are, this and this are quite huge than the number of characters we have here, so obviously it's not going to display anything in here. But what if we do a 1 and then we do a 2? Okay, so this is quite different from how we use the slides in there. So for this one, we have to start from a 1, and then probably, let's say, a 2 here. Okay, so it's only picking the 1 because it starts from a 1 from this side, and then it actually ignores everything left here. So it means everything we are doing is picking right from the front. So let's say we add 2 here, and then we have the 0 showing because we have 1 taking off here, 1, 2 taking off, then we'll get the next nearest one will be what? Will be the 0. So this is how we manipulate the substrings by selecting some of them using any any number that will help us to pick from the entire sentences we have. So if I put in 2 here, it only selects the C and the 0 from the substring. So this works similar to the slides, but it behaves a little bit different from the slide. So you can either use the substrings or the slide for more extractions of what you actually want to see on the screen. So we are done with the slides and then the substring. What else do we want to do? We need to look at replace. So replace here, what it will do is to replace some strings inside the entire sentence. So replace, and with that one, instead to use a substring or a slide here, we'll use the word replace. That means we can replace any of the word inside the sentence. So for example, we want to, let's say, replace color with paint. So this way, the first word you have to search is the one that goes here. So color, this is what we will search and replace. Then the second word will be the word you want to replace with what you are looking for. So paint will be the second word to use to replace the color. So we'll search for color, which is going to use the lowercase, and then replace this one with the paint here. So I save and then we do a reload. So as you can see, we have the color inside the sentence actually being replaced with what? With another word. So that is how the replace works. So we can use the replace on mostly any of the words inside here, or even including a sentence. So anyhow, do a replacement of all similar colors inside the string. So to do that, we need to use what we call the ignore feature, which means we need to use a / and a / then we add a word called ignore inside JavaScript means ignore everything which have color in there and then replace it with this. Okay, so let me save it and then reload. So now we have the first color being changed to paint, and then the second one, it's also what being changed to what to paint as well. So it has picked everything inside the text which has anything to do with color, and then replace it with the paint we have here. So that is an easy way to do. What if we want to convert the string to uppercase characters? So we can do uppercase and others. So the same way we are doing the replacement, we can do an uppercase. So let me say we want to do uppercase here. Okay, so let's say we have a little bit of a shorter string. It doesn't matter, I can still keep the string. And let me clear this so it doesn't confuse you. Then we want to set every string in there to uppercase. So let's say to upper case here. Okay, and with this we clear everything in here, and then we'll print out this. So let's reload and see. So everything has changed to uppercase, but it's not only uppercase, we can do other cases as well, slash other cases. So instead to do uppercase, you can do everything lowercase. So to lowercase here, right? So we can do other things here. So we have both uppercase, lowercase, and then you can do lower here, then you can do to local uppercase. So these are things you can experiment with, and you'll be able to change the cases of all your strings into a different case. For example, if you have a lot of inscriptions inside your project, then you can use this to convert everything you have in your project into an uppercase or a lowercase if you want to do that. Okay, so next let's look at joining two or more strings. So let me clear this real quick. Let's look at that. So let's say joining two or more strings inside JavaScript. So I'll be having two variables here. So let me let me say we have string 1 here, and then we're gonna have another string which is gonna be string 2. So I'll make this red instead of a color. So then we want to join these two together. What we can do is to simply have another variable calling or holding these two variables. So let's say join, a variable called join here, and then we call these two variables we have already, which is the first variable str1, then we add concatenation here like this, and then let's have two openings here, another concatenation here, then we add the second variable which is str2 here, and then I close the statement. Then I can print this join variable here, and then we should have something on the screen which is gonna display color red. Okay, so I reload and then we have color red, but this time around it has joined that together, but let's say we want to give space in there so we see well. So we use the break tag. I think everything is good. Join, let me see, string plus, then we have join document.print. Okay, so great. So just the space in between here. You got it? Okay. Then I open it up, you get a space in between there. Okay. Next, let's say we want to try another one using operators instead of using two variables. For example, we can copy and paste. I have the break here already, so it's gonna move to the next stage. Then here I would say wish, and for our variable for wish, we're gonna have wish happy. Okay, and we'll do wish, instead you have another variable, we want to do wish plus or equal to New Year. Okay, then we are printing out our wish here. This wish inside this side. Okay, then we check the screen. So we have what? Happy New Year. So instead to use two variables, where we'll be having another variable just like this to hold a Happy New Year, and then now join it together and then print it, we can simply use the plus or equal to perform the same joining of strings we just studied here. So you can try using other operators with the string manipulations as well. So what if we want to grab a single character from a string? So let's say grab a single character. So we're gonna grab a single character from the string, and to do that, let's leave just one variable there. Okay, so we say we have a variable str1, then probably we want to have something like hello world. Okay, then with the hello world, we simply want to grab only the first character here. So what we have to do is to call the variable name, which is str1, then dot char at, means character at. Then let's see what we got on the screen. The function, let me see, what am I missing out here? Document.write str dot, oh, I need to bring two round bracket in front because it's an object. So okay, then we have what, the H, which is the first one popping up. What if we want to grab some specific characters in here, not only the first one? Let's say 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we want to grab the W here. It's simply but it's simply done by including the index, which is starting from 1. So we want to grab W in here. I just add the index of W, which is 6, and then I have the W being part of it. So now what if we want to grab nothing here? If we repeat this, and let's say I put in index 30, the index is more than the words we have here, so nothing displays here. But I mean, we can display the last one if we want by counting the letters here. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's do a 10 here. Then we'll have the D. Correct. Now, if we want to simply ignore everything in this character and print just the last one, what can we do? We can simply do this. The str_cat, then we'll use a simple logic in here. Means we'll call the variable dot length, so it should count the length of the characters and then only display the last one on the list, which is the -1. So we get the D being printed here. So let me show you again. Let me cut everything so we see. So it's printing only the D because it counts the entire string and then subtract only one from the string and then ignore all the rest from the back. Okay, what if we have +1? Let's see. Okay, we can have a +1 here because what are we adding to it? Great. So -2 gives us which one? This L here, and we can go on and it gives us the W. So this is how we can actually manipulate strings using the grab method by using the index of each character to actually grab that specific character. So we use the string dot char at, then the number of the index, or we can use the string or the variable dot length to count it. Then we can use a simple minus number to select just one particular one in there. So that is a really easy way to manipulate characters on our screen using JavaScript. That is really cool, right? Okay, now let's look at having an array of words. So for example, we're gonna have, let's say we have apple here, we have orange, then we have banana, then let's add another one, maybe papaya. Okay, so here we want to print everything we get in here by splitting this into, let's say, into 2. And since we have this as the first index, this is obviously gonna be the second index, the third, and the fourth. Okay, so we can use a split a split object here to divide this strings into 2 or 3 or whatever we want. So let's say we have another variable which is calling the strings, which the variable, and then we set that to a variable here will be 2. Yes, then I call the first variable which have all the strings stored in there, and then I apply the split to it, and then I save it. Okay, so in here what I'll do is to now call this specific variable which is applying the split to all these array of strings which is being stored here, and this variable is actually holding the split method which is being applied to the array here. Okay, so in order to print out some array or some string from the array, we need to call this second variable which is the str2 in there, and then we have to display just one of the string inside the array. So how do we do that? And we know arrays have numbers attached to each element in there. So starting from the beginning, apple is going to be 0, banana is going to be 2, mango 3, and then the rest. So let me grab the first one using the split. So grabbing the first one, it's going to be 0 for us. So don't forget, we don't have any dot here. Okay, so we have the split applied to this variable which have the array, and then document or write this variable, then we select just one string inside the array. Okay, so when I reload, we get what? We get apple showing. What if I want to show bananas? What do I have to do? I have to put in 2 here, then I have 2 which is showing bananas here. Okay, now what if I want to print only papaya, but I don't want to use the index of papaya, but instead I'll use the count or dot length -1, like what I just did. So I'll go down here, and then I'll call str inside here. I'll call the str2 again, str2 dot length -1. So it's gonna display only the papaya. So we got the papaya here. Okay, so this is how we can use the split object inside our JavaScript, and we can use this to manipulate all our strings, and then we can have it display a lot of what we have. But what if we want to look through this array and then display the element? So look through all the element of the array. It's simple. We can use a for statement. So let's say we're looping through the array. Okay, So we have to do for, and with the for we can do let I in this variable, which is the str2, and then when it loops it should print something out for us. So I use this one and then I paste it here. So document write. First let's have some p tag attached to it so that it looks p tag here. P tag in here, and then let me clear everything here, and then I have the closing p tag here. Okay, so one will be here and one will be at the end. Then let me close this real quick, so let's stop here and others. Then inside here we're gonna have what we'll be calling, which is gonna be the iteration of this variable we have here. So in here, and then I'm gonna pick it from the I we got. Okay, so document.write p, then we got a closing one here. Oh no. Okay, great. So we're gonna loop through the array which is let I in string 2, which is this one, and then document.write this string using the loop. So display everything you've looped through on the screen for us. That is very simple. So let me cut this so we see what we got. Okay, so we've looped through and then display everything stored in the I on the screen. So this is how we can use loop to, kind of fetch everything inside our array onto the screen. So pretty easy.